Assalamualaikum.
My name is IMAN or QAMARINA binti NORHADZMI.
And my name is Najihah binti Ghazali. On the 28th of March, we were doing some interviews with Amira to ask her about her childhood memories. In this reflection video, we will look at the non-verbal and verbal that we found during the interview. Non-verbal is one type of communication. Linguists working with functionalist frameworks have addressed non-verbal communication as some conversational and discuss analysis and those looking at human interaction and communication from a more sociological and anthropological perspective. According to Mary R.K. in her book, The Relationship of Verbal and Non-Verbal Communication, published in 1918, she said, but for other purposes in human interaction, such as expressive and directive communication, non-verbal correlates carry the heavy loads in the dialogue. There are many types of non-verbal that we use during our interview between us and Amira. Firstly, we can see that the interviewer was using eye contact throughout the interview. Eye contact is a form of non-verbal communication and it has a large influence towards each other. The interviewer was making eye contact with us and sometimes she was looking at the camera as a sign that she is focusing on us and giving full attention. For example, at the 7 minutes in the video, both interview and the interviewer were looking at each other when one of us was talking. This type of non-verbal is really important as it shows attentiveness and interest what is being said. Next, facial expressions also are one of the types in non-verbal communication. The interviewer also used facial expression throughout the interview such as nodding, smiling, shy face and also a thoughtful face. Facial expressions are really important when we are talking to someone because it makes the conversation more impactful. We can see during the interview, Amira was making a happy face when she was laughing at Kama's joke. Other than that, she also nodded and smiled throughout the conversation to show that she understood what we were talking and to show some respect to us in the conversation. The third type of non-verbal communication that we found in the interview video is hand gesture. According to the book Why Gesture, How the Hands Function in Speaking, Thinking and Communicating by R. Ricky Church, hand gesture can be defined as a window on the mind. Other than that, gesture offer additional information that is not captured in speech. We can see throughout the video, we and the interviewer often use hand gesture during communication because we want to show more understanding towards the topic and basically because when we are speaking, our hands are automatically moved to make it more interesting. For example, at the 9 minutes in the video, Amira is using the hand gesture.
Apa betul sahur pun selalu mak kejut, jadi kita kena bangun sendiri.
Before we discuss the second types of communication used in the interview, I will briefly explain what verbal communication is. According to Sukris Sutyatno in 2018, verbal communication relies on the oral transmission of words to relay messages. Verbal communication is direct, giving less opportunity for the misinterpretation of messages. Verbal communication involves action of asking, searching, affirming, sharing, exploring, etc. Throughout the interviewee has answered all the questions given to her and shared some of her sweet moments and even her bitter and sad memories during her childhood era.
Dia macam tahu lah kita ada something wrong kan dengan yang cucuk tu.
With that, we can identify that she has used verbal communication during the interview as she shared stories and experiences and emotions and feelings. Not only that, the interviewee also was involved in asking questions to us, the host of the show, like asking us to share our own memories during childhood. In the first 3 minutes into the video, we can see that Amira was answering the questions given by the first host by sharing the memories that she could remember and asking the same question as she got to the second host.
Macam dia teringat benda tu macam gambar dia ke? Gambar dia.
Throughout the interview, you can see that the three of us were involved in taking turns in speaking and listening to each other. This type of verbal communication is known as dialogue. Dialogue is also a form of verbal communication as the participants engage in spoken interaction, exchanging ideas, information, and responses through conversation. In verbal communication, tone of voice can be identified in someone's ways of talking. Same case for Amira, the interviewee where we can identify that the tone of voice she has used throughout the 30 plus minutes of the interview. The interviewee used a soft tone of voice in sharing her memories, as I believe that it helps her to express empathy and gentleness during difficult conversations, such as sharing her sad and bitter memories. In the middle of the video, we can hear that her voice was very small and soft when she was talking about what she would do if she got a chance to turn herself to be small again.
Saya nak ubah daripada kecil tu lah, saya nak rapat balik dengan.
And last but not least, the words that the interviewee chose to use are simple words. As we listen to the interview, we can hear that all the words used by the interviewee were simple and can be understood easily, as the goal is to communicate with the host as well as the viewers. If we listen to the whole interview, we can hear that she used the words nervous instead of apprehensive or disquieted, that have the same meaning with the word she chose to use. Simple words are usually much better than complicated ones. So, to conclude our reflection video, we will summarize what we have discussed throughout this video. First, we have identified that Amira has used both types of communication, which are non-verbal and verbal communication. For non-verbal communication, Amira, the interviewee, has used eye contact, facial expression, and hand gestures to communicate with us without the use of words. Next, we have spotted some forms of verbal communication used by the interviewee, such as dialogue, tone of voice, and word choice.
So, before we end, here are the list of references that we are using from the Uniza library to complete our assignment.
That's all from us, IMAN or QAMARINA
And NORHADZMI. Thank you.